Jess.fm. Voice only. Ride along.
All right, guys. It's another episode of Jess FM. It's Wednesday. It's gray in North Texas. I can see the clouds moving. I told y'all this rain has been non-stop. And I think we have some flash flood warnings in our area. So if you are in DFW, comment below. I want to get to know you, but more importantly, I want to make sure you stay safe in these upcoming storms. It's so interesting to me that we get the rain Monday through Friday. My daughter runs track for summer, and anyone whose kids run summer track in Texas, you already know my pain. I don't have to expand. I don't have to expound. But wouldn't it have been nice if we got some of this rain on the weekend times? But it's for the kids. I don't want them to get rained out. I want them to be able to get their reps in. So it is what it is, guys. We're going to stay warm, dry, and healthy on this Wednesday. Today, y'all, I feel a little exhausted. I feel like I've been making a whole bunch of decisions today. So I have what I like to coin the term decision fatigue. Which I don't think I coined that term, but I heard it and I couldn't stop using it. That feeling that you have when you're constantly having to decide. At least for me, maybe I'm soft, but it tires me out. By the time I hit the evening hours, I'm just ready for, decisions to make themselves. Or I'll follow anyone else's leadership. It doesn't have to be me. In this era that we're in right now, there's a lot of things happening and being reported in many different ecospheres. Like, I've spent this week so far, episode 1, episode 2, talking about music and entertainment. But that doesn't mean I have been oblivious to a lot of the news that's happening all across our country and our globe, for that matter. I would encourage you guys to, really be astute, be aware of what's happening around you, be aware of your surroundings, but most important, put your values first, put your families first, make sure you are working at the things and focus on the things that you need to be focused on to keep your family safe, protected, and lifted. We are in a very interesting era, as I'm pretty sure at any point in human history someone could have said, but there's an interestingly poignant feel in the air around a lot of different things. And so I just want you all to remember this: protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. If you are like my old self, I used to be very high anxiety personality type. I would take on way more than I should, only to be overwhelmed and complain about how I'm stressed. But lately I've been trying to live very intentionally and make sure that I am focusing on what's important, like I'm encouraging you all to do. And it took me a while to get there, but at the end of the tunnel, there is peace. So if you have not yet found your peace, I would encourage you, keep listening to channels like mine, where we're talking about reality and we're talking about what to do with it. But there's also lots of other resources out there for you. I have a brand page. If you go to my bio, you'll see that I'm all over social media. Jess FM is just one of my social media ventures here for YouTube. But my X page, @Mamiana, might have some tips for you if you feel like you're struggling finding your peace. So I'll just leave that there. I plugged my Twitch channel. on episode 2. Here on episode 3, I guess I'll plug my X channel. And, find me, connect, and let's have a conversation, because this is an era in time where we just have to make sure that we are supported and supporting each other. All right? Find your community, find your tribe, lean into it, pour into it, because I'm a big proponent of you get what you give. All right? You get in life what you give out. So just keep that in mind. So I'm at work today, as with any other day, and I have all of these competing priorities going on. I had small segments of time in between things where I can be to myself and listening to my tunes, and then I reach into my purse and I forgot my headsets. Guys, any of you who work in corporate who need your headsets, comment below. I was going crazy for a little bit and not protecting my peace, by the way, when I realized I didn't have my headsets, guys. I need my headsets. Or I guess I didn't. I made it through the day without them. It's fine. It's fine now. I'm here with you. But I like to, keep up with what's going on, because everything is so fast paced. And if I can get those little moments of time where I can, escape. How many of y'all are into escapism like me? As much as I'm be in reality, protect your peace, deal with what's important, there's still a level of me that loves a little bit of escapism, but within reason, guys. Too much of anything is dangerous, so don't forget that. But anyway, I wasn't able to really kind of keep up with a lot of the current events of the day, and that's okay, because what I can report to you is we have a lot of you already watching. Some of you even engaging, leaving comments. Have you left a comment? If you're listening to this, have you left a comment? Tell me about yourself. Tell me a current event of today for episode 3. Because I'd love to chat with you on it. And if you comment, I reply, because we're still a very small community. I hope to always maintain that level. But it's so super nice to see that there's some shared opinions, there's some disagreements, and everything in between. And I love that. I love that, because I think the human experience needs that. And it's very, 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 very critical to this new world that we're headed in. And if you haven't noticed yet, a lot is shifting here in this year of 2025. I took on a new responsibility where I am leading the way and charging folks with the mission to adopt AI into their life. Now, if you're like, wait, I thought this was a music channel. I talk about a lot of things, or hope to. I told y'all episode 2, my reach is far. And one of the things that helps me get through stressful days like I had today is using AI. Guys, have you adopted AI into your everyday? If not, why? What are you doing? What are you waiting for? What skills are you looking to grow? Is it still ambiguous to you, where you're like, I don't trust that thing? I want to talk about that with you guys, because while I don't want to turn this into some official AI training, I just want to tell you, for those of us who are struggling protecting our peace, who are maybe high anxiety, we really need to tap in to this new technology. It's the best thing since sliced bread, and I mean that. Imagine being around at the time when sliced bread came out. I bet a lot of bakers may have been upset. I don't know. I don't know. But AI is the wave of the future. A lot of the production for this radio show I am executing with AI. So our radio host's voice that you hear when you tune into this video, that's my AI co-host. You'll hear some loop back episodes here soon that'll kind of like chunk up some highlights from each of our episodes with another AI co-host. Like, these are cool things that you can do for fun. Not to mention, like I said, I'm all over social media. A lot of my content creation is done in partnership with AI. And so, like, seriously, I take AI strategy very, very seriously. I promote it to everyone I talk to inside of work and especially outside of work because I know it's new. It reminds me of a story that I saw from late last week having to do with the music industry and its adoption to AI. We've heard about it a lot in the recent year, but we saw more of it, like I said, last week when there was a story out where Timbaland had made mention, or I think shared, and sorry, for those of you who don't know who Timbaland is, legendary producer, been around since the 90s, introducing waves of sound and various different, eras of the 90s and since. Worked with a lot of great artists, some of my faves, like Aaliyah. Love Aaliyah. Oh my gosh. Think about, like, Are You That Somebody? One in a Million. A lot of that work produced by Timbaland. And so imagine a producer of his nature thinking of ways to use this new technology, artificial intelligence, and apply it to the work that he's trying to do. Now, y'all have to keep me honest in the comments because I did not really delve deep into this story. Y'all know me. I look at it at the surface and I make an assessment and decide if I want to dive deeper or not. But what I'm hearing is Timbaland has an AI artist that he wants to and or will be producing music for, which is very, very possible. If you haven't touched AI, like, you're like, what do you mean by that? Guys, you can create a character, you can animate this character, you can give this character a voice, you can help write lyrics for this character, you can help produce beats and music for this character, you can mix and master all with AI. And so a brain like Timbaland, obviously, yes, he's thinking about this like, oh my gosh, I can produce at mass scale. I can do a lot of cool things. I say that because I believe he had good intentions when he was introducing his new quote unquote AI artist. I don't know if the artist has a name or not. I'll just call it AI artist for the sake of this conversation. But when he posted the AI artist who was reading the script and saying some language, there was some blowback from that. There was some people that have I would be honest, they have very valid concerns. Timbaland, who also streams, I told y'all, I love watching streams. Folks like Timbaland streaming, T-Pain streaming, and others. I'm always kind of trying to keep my thumb on the pulse. But the connection that some people were making and people who had a little bit of adverse feelings about AI artistry is that, wait, we've been, Timbaland, sending our music to you because we, a human, wants a chance at being an artist, only for you to come around and introduce to us an AI artist, effectively saying you don't really need us? What happened to all of our music that we gave you, Timbaland? How are you going to use that? And this is me paraphrasing, right? Because I like to understand both sides of a coin and both sides of an argument. And so, justifiably so, you have people who, part of what Timbaland does in his streams is he allows artists, independent artists, to send in work, and he listens and he critiques them. And I, think that's super, super, super cool. But then you also have to keep in mind, Timbaland's in the same world that all of us are in. He's seeing AI just like we're seeing AI. He's figuring out ways to use AI, just like I just rambled off to you all the ways I use AI just in my personal life, let alone how I use it in my work. And so in response to any blowback, I think that everyone has to understand the artificial intelligence landscape, first of all, has been around. There's been AI everywhere at least since 1951. And how do I know that? Because I researched it. The term artificial intelligence was first coined and used in 1956. Fun fact, 1956. And so AI has been around us, whether it's Google search to, you ordering certain things or searching for certain things on shopping websites, and so on and so forth. Video games, obviously, have used a lot of artificial intelligence for the longest. I think that it's becoming more prevalent now because now we have something called generative AI where you create things, and music is one of those things. And who's to blame a producer for trying to figure out how they can apply it, right? Now, if you feel like you don't want your work stolen, the onus is on you to make sure you protect it. Like I was saying, protect your peace, protect your work, protect your intellectual property. Even me right now doing this radio show, I am effectively accepting the risk of bad actors, right? And so, long story short, there's going to be two sides of this argument. It's going to be that way for a very, very long time as generative AI is out and it's rapidly improving and rapidly evolving into things that we as humans have been doing for forever, but now these machines can, with our programming and with us in the loop, these machines can do some of that work. And so it's fair when you think about AI and its application. It's fair when you're concerned with, again, your intellectual property and how it's being used. However, I think that we all have to give grace as well. And this isn't me taking a side in the argument because all of the sides are important. Timbaland has to understand how to responsibly use AI. And then there is the ethical AI discussion. Where is it ethically acceptable versus not? There's gonna be a little bit of social pushing and pulling until we find a sweet spot that we're all comfortable with. Or else, again, I'll take you back to my original point. Protect your intellectual property, protect your peace. If you are an artist trying to break into the industry, you have to understand that AI is present now. And if you're looking for traditional methods to becoming an artist, you have to understand that those traditional methods are evolving, and you have to understand what that looks like for you. May it be you being an independent artist or what have you. But bashing people, I don't think is going to get anyone anywhere. I think it's have the conversations, voice the concerns, and let the debate happen. Because none of us know in our human experience where things are going, but we can maybe set the tone. So if you're right now still listening to this and you're like, I don't know nothing about AI, I hear about it all the time, but I don't know about it, I would strongly encourage you to lean in, get inquisitive, get curious about it. There's so many resources out there for you to engage with AI and do it for free. And I would encourage you to do so. But I'm really, really interested in how this conversation about Timbaland unfolds. This is, to me, a use case or one example of probably more of what we're going to see to come. Think about the effects, folks, that this is going to have on industries, not just like music, but animation, entertainment, screenplays, screenwriters, producers, graphic designers. Like, the work that I'm doing alone just by myself with the AI is intriguing, and I'm just at the tip of the iceberg. I can only imagine what the people who can dedicate full time and really, really learn and apply the ins and outs have the capacity of doing. And some of those people may be you. If you're listening and you have advice for someone who has no clue or no knowledge about how to even start their AI journey, leave a comment. Like, tell us what you did to get started. Me, it was just playing around with it. creating things. I think the very first generative model that I kind of delved into was ChatGPT. Actually, no, I take that back. I'm heavily into ChatGPT now. But 11 Labs, Gamma, Google deployed Gemini to my Android phone that I'm recording this conversation from right now. And that's where I started integrating AI into my daily life. Planning parties. I planned a wonderful reunion for my line sisters earlier this year. I use AI for flyers, help me plan order of events, so on and so forth. It really helps you to take those thoughts in your mind and execute them in a more efficient way, if for nothing else. And so, long story short, like on a day like today where I do feel overwhelmed, I did not have my headsets. I did have my AI companion buddy, still at work for me, executing against ideas that I have, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't. So, at the end of this all, episode 3, a little bit, outside of the music industry, still a little bit inside the music industry, but in any event, we all know the goal right now is consistency. It's me posting these episodes, but it's also you continuing to let me know in the comments what you want to hear about, what do you want to talk about. Just FM is for you and your ride home. If for nothing else, venting about a workday is enough for me. So I hope it's enough for you too. And I'm going to keep looking out for you in the comments. I'm going to keep looking out for you to subscribe and check out the clips that you're seeing. You're starting to see hopefully a little bit more YouTube shorts and whatnot. If you're listening, share the clips. Tell people about this brand new channel from this random lady who's rambling on her drive home from work about whatever's on her mind as of that time. But until then, I am so happy to have another episode out for you here soon. And I want to make sure too that I'm not being too repetitive to various topics that you all are already seeing and already hearing about. But if there are any that we find ourselves wanting to delve into, we will. Okay? We will. Because the sky is the limit. So, that said, thank you again. I cannot wait to see the engagement on this episode. I want to hear what you have to talk about with AI. I'd love to hear what my audience has to say about it, and share those tips again for me, okay? I appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for riding with Jess.fm. See you next ride.